I have instructed everyone here to not use any foul language while you're on this program. Okay.
Thank you.
What did you make of all that with Klay Thompson's commentary after the game last night?
I heard your intro, and Klay is one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player. I love that guy. I love everything about him. I love him as a person. I was texting with you a few nights ago about him. Just that what he's doing right now, most of the league wouldn't have done it. He was off for 2 years. He's come back to play while everybody's in prime condition, sharpness, no rust, and he's putting himself out there like this. He's also playing great. I mean, for mortals, he's a special player, and for him to say, you've never heard Klay say anything like what he said last night about the fans, right? Ever. Because he's always had every bit of confidence. And confidence is such a beautiful thing when you have it and when you don't. And Klay knows what kind of player he is and the player he'll probably be in the fall. And right now you can just see his gears grinding sometimes. His timing is off. You've never seen him overwhelmed defensively by anyone. Not Kawhi, not anyone. Klay, one of the best two-way defenders ever. You know, occasionally he'll get overwhelmed by Jason Tatum right now or Jaylen Brown with their athleticism. And you've never seen that happen. So he's going through something that is sort of nightmarish as an athlete. We give players crap. I don't want to say but we give players.
You just did, Rex. But go on.
I don't want to say. But,
careful.
He's going through some stuff that and we give players a lot of stuff for being soft and not playing.
Right.
He's playing, man. He's doing this. He's not doing it, for himself. He could have sat out and not shown the world how off he is at this point, from game to game. He can still get hot. Klay's playing through this, and I give him all the love in the world. And for him to say something like that last night after a game, it is after a loss. None of that stuff matters when you're playing and you're feeling so well. And as we've seen, Klay has never said anything like that before. He's just in his head some.
So you see that statement, potentially, Rex Chapman, as maybe an indication that something isn't 100% with him, and that frustration along with the loss combines for him to say something out of character on that front.
I do. And, look, all of us have been in arenas where they say foul, nasty stuff. And there's always been sort of an unwritten code or rule between fans and players that you don't say vulgar stuff around kids. Like, especially if you're yelling at the players and say something that the player might want to yell back at you. If there are kids around, you just don't do that. Mm-hmm. I get that. But also, it motivates you as a player. We know what kind of player Stephen and Klay have been on the road for years now. They're killers. And so for Klay to just, say something about the fans last night, I thought, oh, crap, he's in his head a little bit.
Rex Chapman, 12-year NBA veteran, the Rex Chapman podcast, and so many other shows that Rex.
Check it out. Check out CNN Plus.
CNN Plus as well. Your show there as well at Rex Chapman. A must follow on Twitter. You are just so awesome with your account right here on the Rich Eisen Show. So the nether region for the Warriors that is Draymond Green's game not matching his physical intensity, right? Where the best part of his game is that he gets under your skin while he's beating you on the stat sheet and on the scoreboard. We're in that. We seem to be 2 out of the first 3 games where he's not on the stat sheet and the Warriors are not on the scoreboard, but he's still doing his stuff that the Celtics are just shrugging off. Is that where we're at with him? How do you assess Draymond Green through the first 3 games of these finals, Rex?
I'm a Draymond fan. Obviously, he's a polarizing guy and player, which I kind of like. But he when they don't win and he scores single digits, nobody says anything. When they win, he scores single. He's a guy who's easy to pick on because he's not an offensive guy. You can pick on his stats all the time because he never scores a bunch of points. And I think, look, they're going through. They haven't played with Klay in 2 years, and some of these guys have never played with Klay ever. They're trying to work him back in. Jordan Poole was phenomenal down the stretch of the season, but if you see last night on the road, Jordan Poole, his biggest game of his life, you could tell, look, they need Klay out there and not Jordan Poole, just for reasons of maturity and experience. So I just think that, Klay being off a little bit, they're trying, look, Boston's good, man. They're good. Marcus Smart is tremendous. I was just thinking about this yesterday. Think about the journey he's been on. He was supposed to be drafted in the top 3 or 4, but he fell in the draft because he went into the stands when somebody said something in college. Remember that? Mm-hmm. At Oklahoma State. It's just fun to see his maturity, and he's kind of the Boston Celtics glue at this point. It's just kind of been fun to watch.